Elizabeth first. Well, Elizabeth first in Parliament. You know, Elizabeth first was a Tudor. Tudors didn't like parliaments. And Elizabeth was a bit of authoritarian, and authoritarians tend not to like, groups of people getting together. But under Elizabeth I, Parliament is going to do well. And Elizabeth's got a real problem here. Um, Elizabeth is a bastard from the point of view of both Catholics and Protestants. Her mother married Henry VIII, Annie Boleyn, married Henry VIII. She was a Protestant, married in Protestant ceremony. Henry VIII had taken the Kingdom of England out of the Catholic Church. Protestants uh, had troubles with Elizabeth. Annie Boleyn was convicted of treason and witchcraft, and by definition, Elizabeth was not therefore a proper person to succeed to the throne. And yet she does, and here we have a picture of her with the royal scepter and all that stuff around her. Now, I always thought those collars would be horribly uncomfortable. Um, you know, kind of hate to think about it, but and that looks awfully hot to me. But then who knows? But I'm quite certain that she was willing to trade comfort for to wear that crown and sit on that throne, and so she becomes Queen of England, and one of the best of all English rulers. And how did she get there if she was considered a bastard by virtually everybody? And the answer is that Henry VIII had three succession acts passed by Parliament, because Parliament, now the convention becomes, Parliament represents what they would have said the realm of England. Parliament represents everybody, and not just the barons and dukes and bishops who sit on the Queen's Council or the King's Council. And so essentially, to take England out of the Catholic Church and make it Protestant, Henry had gone to Parliament. To set up the succession, Henry had gone to Parliament. The first two acts of succession, Mary and Elizabeth, were both declared to be bastards. Trust me, no consistency in this reasoning. And Henry's only son, Edward, is the sole heir. And then in the third succession act, Henry and Parliament say, well, no, maybe things won't work out right. And so they officially make Edward the first heir. Then Mary, the oldest daughter, becomes the second heir. And then Elizabeth, the second oldest daughter and the one most questionable, becomes the third heir. Well, nobody ever thought that Elizabeth would come to the throne. I mean, Edward would probably have kids and they would inherit. And of course, then there was Mary. But Edward dies fairly young, and Mary dies not quite as young, but still pretty young. That neither one has children. And by just one of those crazy quirks of fate, the third in line, Elizabeth, comes to the throne. And Elizabeth's not going to marry. She's not going to have children. She's going to be wed to England, in a manner of speaking. And she's going to have a long reign, and she's going to have a very successful reign. Remember, her claim to that throne is not perfect. And so, if nothing else, just simply self-preservation would say that you better get along with a lot of people. And so, basically, that's what happens. Elizabeth rules with considerable brilliance and I think real good common sense, and rules. She's top down. There's no question about that. She rules with a small council, but when she needs to have the voice of the realm backing her, she calls a parliament. And in particular, in terms of the cooling of the religious fires, Elizabeth makes certain that the Book of Common Prayer, which had existed before Mary, is readopted. And she basically is saying, it's called the Elizabethan Settlement. She's basically saying, the Catholics don't have to like the Protestants, and the Protestants don't like the Catholic. None of them have to like the more radical groups that were around. You don't have to send each other birthday cards and Christmas presents. You just don't have to kill each other. You don't have to burn things down. And she gets a settlement, which is about as bland, as innocuous as you can, and that's what she wanted. And there's a good deal of wisdom behind this, because if you take a look at the statement here, that she did not know how to, and I quote, make windows into men's souls. There is only one Jesus Christ, and all the rest is a dispute over trifles. I'm not sure that's how any one person felt, but enough people collectively felt that way, and Parliament could reasonably say that this is what England really wants, is peace, and not chaos, and not violence. And so Parliament and Elizabeth fashioned a settlement which maybe nobody completely liked, but if everybody liked 80% or 60%, that was fine. And so basically this is what happens, and it brings great calm to England. Picture here of Parliament meeting under Elizabeth. You'll notice, of course, it's much smaller than it is nowadays. But this, it's a very formal occasion. The Queen comes in and gives the address from the throne. She's off the top of the slide here. But this is just what the doctor ordered. A monarch who gives a speech. Parliament who hears and responds, Parliament again representing the entire realm of England. This is everybody's in this together, and it worked. It worked. And at the end of her reign, she addresses Parliament one last time, and I think if Parliament represents the realm of England, all of England, she's addressing all of England here. And I think she truly was wed to England, as well as being wed to the throne. But she says, and I think she meant this, it is my desire to live nor reign no longer than my life and reign shall be for your good. And though you had, and may have, many princes more mighty and wise sitting in the seat, yet you never had, nor shall have, any that will be more careful and loving. And, I kind of think that she meant it. I think that she really did intend that this be her legacy. So, in any instance, well, a great and good queen, and a decent human being, more or less. About as decent as any king or queen could be in those days. I hope you like these videos. If we need to kind of keep doing them. I think history, politics, popular culture, and golf. And if you like them, if you want to see these things continue, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I'll give you some more information down below as to where you can go to, subscribe to other things we do. So everybody take care, stay safe, and above all, stay healthy. Take care.